We've all seen what it's like to survive in a digital-first world. Now, it's time we thrive in it. I created this show to bring you expert insights to help you and your business grow in this new era. Welcome to the Evoke Media Show. All right. Hello and welcome to the Evoke Media Show. My guest today is the founder of Your 5-Star Marketing, Sharon Gilbert. Sharon started her marketing business over 6 years ago when she observed the trend of businesses that needed to be online but were struggling to make that transition. Since the start of the COVID pandemic, that's become even more crucial for local businesses to survive and thrive. Sharon Gilbert, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, RJ. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Welcome, everyone.
Absolutely. So something that really stood out to me about our previous conversations and what you do is you have a very, I think, tangible approach to helping businesses get online and take advantage of the opportunities that are out there. Marketing can become very overwhelming when you look at everything that you can do. And I think the areas that you focus on are really practical for helping even smaller businesses that maybe don't have enormous budgets, that, you know, to really help them actually grow their business, not just throw money at the wall and hope something works. So what are some areas that you see for small business owners, for service providers, for entrepreneurs to really increase their online presence?
Well, first of all, when somebody contacts me to look at their business, I first look at their social profiles. For instance, do they have a Google My Business? 9 times out of 10, they do. But then 9 times out of 10, they don't know to optimize their Google My Business. They just set it up, slap it up there, put a couple of photos up there, but they haven't put anything up maybe in years. So my first suggestion, if you're an entrepreneur, set up your own Google My Business. You don't have to have a physical place, a physical brick and mortar place to set up a Google My Business. A great example is if you're a service provider, like a contractor or someone that works, has your office out of your home, but you still want to service people in your area, you can still set up a Google My Business, but keep your address as private. And Google will still verify it through your home address, and then you can start posting on it. My biggest thing is get out there, get on the web, start with Google first. Another tip is I find that a lot of businesses they'll get reviews on Facebook, or reviews on other channels, but they don't have any reviews on Google. So there's nothing wrong with Facebook, but don't focus on the reviews on Facebook. Get them on Google, because if somebody's searching for your local business, they're not searching on Facebook for you. No offense. They're searching for you on Google. So if you have any type of brick and mortar business, or if you're a contractor, service industry company, get your reviews on Google first.
And what's, I think, really important there is just where they are in the customer journey. If they're searching for you and then they're in a higher stage of consideration, if they're searching for what you offer and you give them a good experience on your listing, in your search rankings, we tend to focus in marketing on the very, very first interaction, advertising and, buying traffic, and that's fine. But if you're doing the rest of your marketing properly, people should be looking for you. They may not buy the first time they see an ad or drive past your billboard. They're not going to.
They don't.
But they're going to look for you on Google. And if you're not showing up or you're showing up in a less than trustworthy or credible state, it's not a good look.
Right. And the thing is that I do paid ads for clients after they've gotten their Google My Business up. And I advertise for the higher paying jobs that my clients would want. Where with Google search, you're just going to get anyone, maybe somebody that wants roof repairs or, wants their heater fixed or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But after you've got your Google going and after you've got the organic traffic, then I tell my clients, hey, let's go for search ads. Let's go after those clients that are looking for the more expensive jobs. But the basic is to start with Google. You got to start with Google first, and then you go on.
Absolutely. Because how often do you hear when you talk to local businesses or contractors of how do you get your business, and it's usually either referrals or the answer more broadly, word of mouth. And that's fantastic, while it lasts, and if you have a strong base, and that's outstanding. But what happens if some percentage of those referrals are landing on a dead listing, or an outdated page that doesn't have even your current phone number, or your current hours, your availability? It is insane to me.
Well, yeah, and that's true, because I recently, during COVID, I talked to a ice cream store locally to me. When COVID was over, they were looking to hire me to do their social media. They didn't even have current pictures of their restaurant, and it had been redone. So so just something simple like that, just something simple as, hey, let's make sure we've got up-to-date photos up there, not something that's 10 years old. Maybe we've moved, we haven't changed our phone number, or we haven't updated our website. These are all keys to getting you traffic. And like I said, I work with Google My Business. I do websites as well, but I like to start in the beginning. And I think the first step for any client is, let's get your Google optimized.
Absolutely. And it's one of those, I think it's a common enough story that at some point, local business may have invested in SEO service or something like that, and they did it for a few months and it didn't work. Air quotes around that, of it didn't bring them the results they were expecting. And that's neither here nor there, but the point is, Google is not going anywhere. And the numbers are there of an overwhelming number of people will land on those results if they're looking for what you offer. If people are going to hire you, you have to let them know about you. And doing something that will, once you have it set up, once you have it optimized, it's fairly low maintenance. I mean, this isn't a daily thing that you add to. It's how frequently would you say?
It actually is a weekly thing.
Sure.
You definitely do need to be adding to it. I wouldn't say it's daily, but you definitely need to be adding to it several times a week to optimize it, to keep it going, to keep you showing up. Because what a lot of people don't realize is they go out and they hire an SEO expert. Nothing wrong with that. To do backlinks and do all that to their website. But then their Google doesn't look that good. So instead of hiring an SEO expert, hire somebody like me, or do it yourself, to optimize your Google, because that's really where people are going to find you. If you're a local construction company, or you've got a brick and mortar business, retail brick and mortar business, people are looking for your services locally online. And that's why Google several years ago changed their algorithm to show businesses online near where you're at.
Excellent. So what are a couple of 3 to 5 really tangible tips that someone could apply today, or they could hand to someone who is more familiar with the platform and say, we need to hit these steps?
Well, the first tip is to claim your business on Google, because once you set up your Google My Business, well, that would be the first step. If you don't have a Google My Business, set it up. Second step would be to make sure you claim it, because a lot of businesses don't claim it. And basically, you're just saying that you own this business so that somebody else can't claim it. Okay. The third thing would be to make sure that your hours are updated. If you're a brick and mortar business, make sure that you have your COVID. This is so important with COVID. Make sure you have your COVID policies up there. I had a gentleman that was a podiatrist contacted me about his Google. He wondered why the business was failing during COVID. He didn't have anything up there about his COVID guidelines, about the safety precautions he was taking, if they were sanitizing stuff, if they were wearing masks. We're kind of getting out of that more, but people are still conscious about that. And going into the winter months with a new variant, people might be still really conscious about it. So make sure you have up your COVID guidelines up there. If you're sanitizing, what your staff's doing, if they've got to wear masks, just so people know this all in advance. And then if you need further help, that's what I'm here for, to help you.
And please, please, please update your hours. nothing is more frustrating than trying to go eat somewhere and they closed an hour before because it wasn't updated.
Yeah, and the other thing is, are you open on Christmas Eve? What are your hours on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Are you open on Christmas Day? These are so important. I make sure that my hours and my clients' hours are updated.
Yeah.
And then the other important thing is, really important to respond to reviews. Okay, respond to reviews pretty quickly if somebody leaves a review. Now, I'm going to give you a tip. If somebody leaves a negative review, which time to time this does happen, and it may be no fault of your own. It may be that you didn't do anything wrong. The best response to a negative review is to simply just say, hey, we're so sorry that your experience was less than exceller. We're going to offer you, next time you come into our restaurant, we will offer you free entree or 25% off or whatever. So always respond to negative reviews with thoughtfulness. Don't argue with them, with kindness, because think about, people are going to read that. So that's the number one key I can give you as far as responding. And you do need to respond to a negative review.
Yeah, absolutely. Because these are not temporary things. If you have a negative interaction on Facebook, on Google, on anywhere, it doesn't really matter where, that's out there. It's, that will negatively affect you for a long time. And you may not know the exact repercussions, but more people will see it than you think.
Oh, they do. Trust me.
Yeah.
They see it.
And people can look past. I think we have a pretty good internal filter of, we can tell when someone's just being difficult and they were never going to be happy in the first place. But we can also tell when the provider didn't want to deal with it and they didn't try. Where they just they got their money and they were done. We can filter that too.
So one of the things I did want to mention that as a free gift to anyone, I do have a PDF download. I can give you the link to the website then, where they can download my free PDF. It's called Top 10 Marketing Disasters. And so it's how they can avoid some of these disasters that we're talking about. And so I offer that as a free gift to anyone. I can give you the link then. You can put it on YouTube, whatever.
Wonderful. Yeah. So the link for that will be in the description. Whatever you can do to just avoid wasted money, wasted time, or just, a negative experience for you and your customers, just learn from the mistakes of others. It's much cheaper to do it that way.
And it's actually free to do it that way.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think that is an excellent point to wrap up on. I actually like leaving you with the last word, but I just want to thank you for coming on the show, Sharon, and I'll ask you for just in parting, what is one tangible piece of advice that you'd offer someone who's looking to improve their marketing, grow their business in 2022?
Well, in 2022 goes back to, what are your goals? What are your clients? Who are you looking to reach? The biggest thing is really check out your social media. Is it optimized? Make sure that your Google is up to date. And then if you are so busy running your business, hire a professional like myself or someone else to really get your social media presence out there, because especially since the pandemic, it is so important to have a social media presence and not just throwing something up on the wall, what I call it, every now and then, to really have something that's that looks also your branding, that looks congruent from Facebook to LinkedIn to Google My Business, so that everything looks the same, whatever your branding would be.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Since you made it all the way to the end, I assume you enjoyed what you heard. And if this was valuable to you, then maybe it's time for us to have a conversation. If you head over to evokemedialabs.com, you'll see a button in the top right corner that says Get a Free Assessment. Clicking that button will let you schedule a half-hour conversation with myself or someone on my team where we can do a free video strategy audit where we'll dive into what you're currently doing and figure out what some opportunities are for you to improve your video strategy, to grow your business, build your brand, become a market leader, and overall just have a better life. That's what we're trying to do. So if you're ready to schedule, head over to evokemedialabs.com, get your free assessment, and we'll chat with you very soon.